listen, this is pretty clear what's going on with this administration. They believe in an open borders policy, but they're also seeing the cost of it. And Texans, particularly historically Democrat voting Texans along the border, are switching over to the Republican Party. So there's a real political cost for the Biden administration. I think that's part of what you're seeing here with this Remain in Mexico policy is they completely underestimated the pushback, and Texans, and I think Americans as a whole, the tragedy that they've seen there. And when they really understand what are the byproducts of this open border policy, the child sexual trafficking, the drugs that are coming into the United States, the people that are traveling all across this country that may or may not be COVID infected, that aren't being tested because this president's policy is just stunning. And I think on its face, there's so many tragic things that have happened in the first 11 months of this president's administration, whether it was Afghanistan, but this border policy is going to be one of the highlights as people go into the polls a year from now to decide who they really want running this country. And they're going to say no in a very powerful way, TW.
Yeah, speaking of Afghanistan, Sir, President Biden just signed the short-term spending bill to keep the government funded through February 18th, but it includes $7 billion to resettle Afghan refugees across the U.S. Does this resettlement create any national security concerns?
Well, of course it does. We don't, again, this is like on the border with this is an open borders policy all across the country when you think about it that way. Not only do we have an open border between Mexico and the United States, but you also are bringing in people that weren't vetted from Afghanistan. You know, the vast majority of them, I'm sure, are probably good folks who have been helpful to the United States. But we left a lot of people in Afghanistan that we know for a fact were helpful to the United States. So this is I call this administration the Keystone Cops. Now, you're not old enough to remember them, but a silent movie group of police who were absolutely couldn't do nothing right. It was a comedic term, and unfortunately, it's in a way it's comedy, but it is a tragic event for America to see this type of ineptness out of the White House.
Governor, you're so right about the open borders policy of this administration, but I want to get into another title of yours, and that's, as most people know, you were the U.S. Secretary of Energy. What do you make of President Biden's decision to tap into the nation's strategic petroleum reserve?
Well, that was as inept as I've seen on the energy front. You have an energy secretary now who didn't even know what the total amount of barrels of oil used in the United States was when she was asked in a press conference. And that small amount that the strategic reserve is going to add, it may have made a blip on the price of gasoline, but that was set up for natural disasters, for national disasters that could have occurred. Let's say a hurricane that shuts down pipelines on the East Coast. You open up the strategic reserve for that, not as an economic tool to manage the cost of gasoline. That is so short-sighted. Yeah. And frankly, if this president wants to do something to lower the cost of gasoline, it's pretty simple. Tell the American oil and gas producers to get out there and drill, baby, drill into the pipelines. Remove the restrictions. What this administration is doing is strangling America with restrictions and with regulations that cost people substantial amounts of money. President Trump, he put a policy into place for every regulation that went into place, 2 had to be removed. Yeah. And it was working across the board. Biden had a
Governor, you're so right.
We're running out of time. We could talk to you all morning. We really thank you, Rick Perry, for coming on the show. Have a good rest of your weekend, sir.
God bless you. Take care of yourself. DW, it's good to see you, brother.
Thank you, Governor.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.